Good afternoon everyone and welcome back to your biology class. Can you hear me properly and can you see the board properly? Please let me know. Okay. Thank you everyone. So in my previous class I have completed the discussion of the autotrophic mode of nutrition and started the discussion of the heterotrophic mode of nutrition, and I have mentioned that under the heterotrophic mode of nutrition we will get mainly 3 types of nutrition. Can you tell me what are they? What are the 3 different types which will come under heterotrophic mode of nutrition? Rajana, heterotrophic. Saprophytic, okay. I will write it down again. Saprophytic. Second one, parasitic, very good. And the third one, holozoic, very good. Very good everyone. I am very happy that you have followed the classes. Thank you. So, under the heterotrophic mode of nutrition, we will get mainly 3 types. What are they? Saprophytic, parasitic and holozoic. And I have started the discussion with the saprophytic mode of nutrition. Okay, very good. Very good. And started the discussion of the parasitic mode of nutrition, right? So, under the parasitic mode of nutrition, what we have seen, who will come under the parasitic mode of nutrition? The organism which are dependent on the other organism of different species for their food and shelter, right? So, there we have seen that there is a term, that is the organism on which they are dependent, they must be of different species. Okay, you are having a clear idea about the species. Now, the organism which are dependent for the food and shelter, these are considered as parasite, and the organism who is providing the food and shelter, that means in whose body the organism is living and getting food and shelter, this one is considered as host. Okay, so in the parasitic mode of nutrition we will get yes, with I am starting the parasitic mode of nutrition. Okay, so this is the parasitic host relationship that will come under the parasitic mode of nutrition. Now, in this parasitic mode of nutrition we will get 2 types. What are those? One is ectoparasite, another is endoparasite. Ectoparasite means parasite which are living outside the body of the host, and endoparasite means parasite which are living inside the body of the host. Ecto means outside, endo means inside, right? So, what will be the example? Can you give me an example of each? Can you give me an example of ectoparasite? It's a very easy question. Tell me, what will be the example of an ectoparasite? Ecto, roundworm. Roundworm is roundworm present in outside of our body. Tick, very good. So, leech, lice, tick, these are the examples of some ectoparasite. Now, come to the endoparasite. Now, tell me some examples of endoparasites. Roundworm, pteria, tapeworm, very good, very good, very good. So, you know that these are the examples of endoparasites. All your answers are right, very good. Now, so this is all about the parasitic mode of nutrition. Now, coming to the last part, that is holozoic mode of nutrition. So, what is the meaning of holozoic mode of nutrition? That means intake of solid food particle. We can write it as intake of solid food particles. Okay, under the holozoic mode of nutrition, we will particularly consider the intake of solid food particles. Clear? And under this holozoic mode of nutrition, we will again get some subtypes. What are they? Herbivore, carnivore, omnivore, detritus, scavengers, right? So these are the, ma'am, this portion, can you see this portion? No, Riddhita. No, we will not call them for the parasitic mode of nutrition, because they are not dependent for the food and shelter. They will multiply themselves inside the body of another organism. Clear, Riddhita? This part you can see, na? This portion. This portion, can you see this portion? Okay, so come to that part, that under the holozoic mode of nutrition, we will get what we will get. Okay, I will not write on this portion, I forgot just like previous day. Okay, so herbivore, carnivore, omnivore and detritus, scavengers. Okay, detritus and scavengers. So what are the different food habit they are having? First come to the herbivore. You know that one, that organism which are dependent on plant or plant products, they are considered as herbivore, like goat, cow. Next, carnivore, organisms which are dependent on animal or animal products, they are considered as carnivore, like lion, tiger. Next, omnivore, organisms which can eat both plant and animal products, they will come under the omnivore, example we. Now come to the detritus and scavengers. Can you give an example of detritus? All these you have read in the junior classes. Can you give one example of detritus? Yes, earthworm. Okay, and what about scavengers? What about scavengers? Wolf, fox, right? No, you can call that vulture, kite, yes, eagle. Okay, that means scavengers feeding on the dead bodies, like vultures, kites, hyena. Okay, so these are the different examples. All of you knows that, and under that some animals can eat only insect, we can call it insectivorous. Like this we can differentiate the holozoic mode of nutrition under these groups. Okay, so now this is the basic idea about the autotrophic and heterotrophic mode of nutrition, which I have started in my previous class. Today I have completed. Now we have to know the differences between autotrophic and heterotrophic mode of nutrition. You will tell me what will be the points. So I will make two columns, autotrophic mode of nutrition and another one for heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Now, as you are in class 10, you will appear for your board examination. First day I have told you that you have to follow some tricks for getting full marks in your board examination. Okay. So, the class 10, whenever you will write any difference, just make 3 columns one for the 2 part whatever they have asked in the question, and another one will be for the characteristics part. Okay, so we have made 2 columns. Here we will make another column, characteristics. So here first we will make a heading of the particular character on which we will discuss the difference between these two. So first character we can make that preparation of the food, right? Of food. Then what we will write in the first column? What should we write in the first column? So yes, you have given the answer that they can prepare their own food. So here we can write they can prepare their own food, and here we have to write cannot prepare their own food and dependent on others. Or in the first point you can make a column for writing the definition. Okay, you can write down the definition in the first difference. Okay, so in that point you have to mention that auto means cell, top means nutrition, that means in case of hetero means others. Okay, like this you can write down the difference. After that you can make this point, or you can keep these 2 points under the definition point. Clear? Now come to the next part, that is digestion. So in junior classes we have read that in some type of, in us we need some digestion method. Food will be digested, right? So this digestion process will be required for only for the heterotrophic. Is digestion present in autotrophic? Yes or no? Very good. So in short, how I am writing? Write cross. That means digestion is present. How will you write? I am writing just like that because I am writing in short, but whenever you are writing in your copy, please write down in full form. Okay. So in the what you will write, that in autotrophic mode of nutrition digestion process is not there, it is absent, and in heterotrophic mode of nutrition complex food will be broken down into simple form and it will get digested. Clear? Now come to the next point, that is in energy, external energy. Now tell me, any external energy is required in autotrophic mode of nutrition or heterotrophic mode of nutrition? Tell me. Sunlight in autotroph. That means from external or from the atmosphere, in case of autotrophic mode of nutrition, they need some energy. Without the sunlight, the photosynthesis will not take place. So an external energy will be required for the autotrophic mode of nutrition, which is not required in case of heterotrophic mode of nutrition. No external energy is not required. Okay. Now these are the main points. Can you tell me any other points? Beside these 3 main points, do you want to share any other points? And most importantly, at the end of the difference, you have to mention the example. If you don't mention the example, then your marks will be deducted. Okay, so this is the first day. I am teaching you how you have to write the difference for your examination in your class 10, in any examination. First, you have to make 3 columns, one for characteristics and another 2 for 2, whatever they will ask in your question. And first you have to write down the points, and at the end you have to mention the example. Example is must. Okay, so what will be the example in case of autotrophy? You can write down that all green plants, cyanobacteria, and in case of heterotrophy mode of nutrition, there are huge examples. You can write down any one. Okay. Okay, you are saying that ecological status, chlorophyll, autotrophs are producer. Tell me in difference form. You are saying only one. Heterotrophs are consumers. Okay. Okay, you can write down that they are producers and they are consumers. You can write it down. But these three are the main 3 points. If you want, you can add any other points also. Okay. So this is your homework. Please write down the differences between these two and add points as much as you can, and I will ask you in my next class. Okay, that how many points you have gathered. Clear everyone? Okay. Now, with that we are completing the basic idea about the autotrophic and heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Now, in the first part, now we will enter the particularly the autotrophic mode of nutrition, that means particularly the photosynthesis. Before that, you can see that in the first and second page of your book, they have provided some basic idea about some unicellular and multicellular organism. Okay, so what are the differences that can be found in single cell organism and with the multicellular organism? So this is the very basic idea, as I know that already you have read in the class 8, right? So as you know that in case of single cell organism, they are not having specific organ for the food, for exchange of gaseous material or removal of the waste. But what happens when the number of the cells are increasing and the organism is converting into multicellular organism, they are having different organs and organ system, like for respiration, for digestion, for excretion, we are having different type of organ system. So the multicellular organisms are having specialized part for the specific function they need to perform. Okay, so here you will get a question that why diffusion is not sufficient. Let me tell you. The question is, why is diffusion insufficient to meet the oxygen requirement of multicellular organisms like humans? Because the answer will be because that humans are multicellular organism, they are having different organ system for the different function. But in case of unicellular organism, they are not having any particular organ system. So the diffusion mechanism, by the diffusion mechanism, they can intake food, they can exchange gaseous exchange also takes place. So it is sufficient for them. But if this type of diffusion is taking place inside the human, like multicellular organism like human, then it will take huge time to send the air or the food from top of our head to the tip of our toe. It will take 1000 years of time. So that is why it is not possible to meet all the oxygen requirements, means all the requirements, to fulfill all the requirements by the diffusion. Okay, I will discuss all this question after this part. Okay, that time I will help you to write it down. Now come to the next part. Yes, Riddhita, what I was telling you, there is a question that why is diffusion insufficient to meet the oxygen requirements of multicellular organisms like human? What I was telling that in case of single cell organism like unicellular organism, they are not having any specific organs for taking food, for exchanging gases, for removal of the waste. Okay, so they can perform all the function through the entire body surface, because they are very small sized and their body is made up of single cell. But in case of multicellular organism, we have many different types of system for different means specialized cells, specialized organ system we are having. For excretion we are having something different, for nutrition we are having something different, for respiration we are having something different, and all these organ system are performing the different functions. Okay. So that is why it is not sufficient that we can send all these requirements by the diffusion, because our body of the unicellular is very small and our body you can see it is quite huge, and that is why it will take huge time, years, it will take years to send all the oxygen from the top of the head to the tip of the toe. Okay. So that is why it is not sufficient to supply all the requirements by the diffusion in case of multicellular organism. Clear? Yes, yes. That is why, yes, yes, yes. We have hemoglobin for carrying the oxygen. Difference between saprophyte and, yes, that may come in your examination, any difference may be asked, but as I have mentioned all of them separately, so I think you can write it down by your own. If I give you any difference, as you know the basic idea about them, so you can write it down, right? Okay, okay, very good. So as you are in class 10, so you have to practice it also, that so that you can write it down by your own, because in your exam question you don't know what you will get. They may ask different type of questions, so for that you have to prepare from the first day. And if you start writing by your own, then your exam, in your exam day, the questions you will feel that this is very easy question like this, but if you don't practice, then you may face many problems. Clear? So practice everyone to write all the answers by your own. Okay. Now come to the next part, that is what I was telling you. Yes, yes, yes. So now first I will start with the nutrition in plants, and after that we will proceed to the nutrition in animals. So first topic is nutrition in plants. So as you know that plants can prepare their own food by the process of photosynthesis. So under the nutrition of plants, we have to read about the photosynthesis. So you have to read about the photosynthesis. So if we split the term photosynthesis, the term photos means light. This means light, and synthesis means putting together. Okay. So if we split the term photosynthesis, what we will get? Photos means light and synthesis means putting something together. Okay. So what we have to put together? Now come to the definition of the photosynthesis. So photosynthesis means that it is a process by which green parts of the plant which contain chlorophyll can prepare their food in the form of glucose with the help of carbon dioxide, water and sunlight, and they can release oxygen as a byproduct. This is considered as photosynthesis. I will not write down the definition. If you want to write down, I am repeating it. Please listen carefully. Then write it down. Okay. Then they will not perform photosynthesis. Particularly, we have to talk about the photosynthesis part. Okay, which is in your syllabus. That's what I am focusing on the photosynthesis. It will be better if you mention the green plants, right? So everyone, please write it down. What is photosynthesis? Question is, what is photosynthesis? The answer is, photosynthesis is a process. Photosynthesis is the process. Everyone please write it down. What is photosynthesis? Yes, they will perform, because not only that some photosynthetic pigments are present there, some are green and some are another in color. Okay, so I will discuss all this. Please let me start with the definition part, then I will tell each and everything. What I have told you, that please nothing to worry, I will tell one by one, but for that you have to wait, na? Again chemistry class has been started. Can you see me? Okay, then leave it. I will discuss this topic in my next class. Okay. I have to talk with you, sir, to resolve this issue. Okay, because as you know that this class will continue up to 1:20. Okay. So thank you and bye bye everyone. Please write down your names.